Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem the Wakwadash, double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, I got this comment one day ago. Anyone thinks of color is how to distinguish Yasharal is just ignorant. The word ignorant means unknowing of facts. This is unknowing of the facts, but anyway, it's Yashal Allah. But going on, ignoring truth and ignoring of Hebrew. Afarith. Leah, I don't know. What is the root word of Laban? That's what it says right here. Labana. Laban. Right? Okay. So what makes you think of skin tone and skin color to determine who who is an Israelite or who is not? What makes you think I think of skin tone and skin color to determine who is an Israelite or who is not? Is that what I radiate towards you through this video? I read in this video, I read that you are what your father is, no matter what the female is whom your father lays with. Can you show me the Bible through scriptures that you don't have to be of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in order to be an Israelite? I should have said that. Can you show this? No, you're not. That's why people say, yeah, but now we're all spiritual Israelites. That's why they say that. But there's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. You know, so, well, in another sense, the Israelites are the only ones that can be spiritual Israelites, because some of them are spiritual Edomites, because they cling on to the philosophies and doctrines of Esau, you know, like flying reindeers and stuff like that. But the fallen branches, can they be grafted back in? Yes, they can. You know, so the ones that fell off can be grafted back in. That's the natural branches. And then also the other ones, the wild olive tree, they can also come back into the fold and take hold of the root, which is Yahushua. Of course, the seed, of course, the seed of the father determines the child, same as the seed of the fruit of a fruit from the tree of which it came forth. From determining the tree, what? From determining the tree, it will be. What? Okay. I understand what you're saying over there. Why have you ignored my question and presented a total different topic? The question, what is the root word of Laban? I don't know, because I don't see the strongs that you put there, so I have not got that off the top of the dome. Anyway, and I answered that later here. But anyway, it says here, how many women did see? I think he means Jacob, Yaquab. But anyway, plant in his seed. How many women did Jacob plant his seed in? Oh man. Anyway, he did it in 4 women. And tell me if you can, what color they. Tell me if you can, what color they are. They're dark-skinned women. They're from the bloodline of Eber, which is Ibar. I'm gonna go on, and I can prove that because I have the scriptures ready. Because your group refers to non-whites as Gentiles, and this is a bold-faced lie that even Hebrew itself exposes. We didn't say that. That's not the truth. The elder apostles at Great Millstone on down, they do not teach that. As a matter of fact, they teach you that you have Israelites looking like heathen nations, and us teach the same. Don't be misguided. You seem genuine in your desire to serve the king. Well, I hope so. I only watch your opening. What? I only watch the opening of your video until you start it over. What? Anyway, so you only watch the beginning. Okay, cool. So, because if you go further, you might actually listen and hear what I actually say. Speak from the spirit and not a script or the dogma that you have been taught. What? What is this? Anyway, I do speak from the spirit, which is the Bible. So if I speak of my own spirit, and I do read from a script, the scriptures, I'm not gonna talk of myself, because hey. Okay, so it says here, yeah, I thank you for your words. I made a video. I'll make a video to answer this question. But yeah, you said that the root word of, what is the root word of Laban? I don't specifically know the Strong's number you got that from. Can you give me the Strong's, then I can look it up? I can never remember all the Strong's off the top of my dome, basically, from the Blue Letter Bible. I did not ignore the thing you said about color, though, because the reason why I was like, what? I just answered the question, what you just said, but you said Laban. Yeah, I don't know. But you need to show me the Strong's. Because I think of Laban as the daughter, sorry, the son of Bethuel. That's what comes to my head. Anyway, so but I don't know. I could look at it. I think, but I'm not sure which one you want, because it's because you read different. You say, where's that word? I saw him use, yeah, you use this word Yeshar all, and the Jacob thing, or the Jacob thing. Where is it? Here. Use this, so I don't know what you mean. Anyway, it says here, I did not ignore the thing you said about color, though, because I did not say anything about color, and that you are an Israelite based on color. I didn't say that. If you watch further, you would probably see it. And if you watch the other videos of Great Millstone on down, you would also see it like that. So that thing what you're just saying is, yeah, you're ignorant of the facts. The true definition of the word ignorant. Lacking knowledge and awareness in general. That's what you're doing. That's what you have. Where is it? Here. Yeah, lacking wisdom, unaware, lacking wisdom or knowledge, unknowing of the facts. You don't know the facts. Right. So going on. So I said it does go back to color in ancient times our ancestry begins. However, it all does go back to color. However, in the ancient times of our ancestors, what did I write? However, it all goes back to color. Oh. In the ancient times of our ancestry's beginnings. But nowadays our people have mingled the holy seed. Ezra chapter 9 verse 2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers had been chief in this trespass. In verse 1 it tells you, yeah, the heads of our people, they was the ones pushing that, because it says it right here. In verse 1 it tells you with whom are men laid down, because it's talking about the seed, not the womb. You know, Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves, separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations. Psalms 106 verse 32 on down, you can see what they was doing. Child sacrifices among them. Leviticus chapter 18, Leviticus chapter 20. Those were the things that they were doing, that they learned from even the Canaanites, that they learned from the Hamites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, also the Japanese, and the Moabites, which is the Chinese, Mizraim, which is the Egyptians, which is also one of the sons of Ham, but these Mizraim, and the Amorites, which are Canaanites again. This is Mizraim. Ham had 4 sons. This is one of the sons of Ham, Mizraim, and this is another one, and these other ones are these other ones are also Canaanites, including Canaan, but these are Canaanites too, all of them. But now our people are mingled with Esau also, even more than with the Canaanites and Moabites and Ammonites. Right, because you don't see a lot of mixes of those, especially not on online and stuff like that. You see more in with Esau, mingled with Esau, in especially in America and Europe. It were the leaders of our people that were pushing this, much like how the leaders of Esau is now pushing it in the commercials. In their commercials, I should have wrote in their commercials of 2025. Actually, they've been doing it for a while now, since like 2000, maybe 15. I don't know. I didn't count it, but I looked at it and I was like, hey, they're really pushing it. But anyway, let me go on. Have you not seen the TV? Do you see them pairing Arabs and East Indian couples in commercials, and or East Indian males and or females with Jacob descendant men and women? Like, you don't see Arabs and or East Indians being paired with us as couples, or with themselves. An East Indian male or female with an Arab male or female. You don't see that in the commercial. I don't see it. I saw one where this Elam, which is an East Indian, brown skinned people. She came to her family, and when they zoomed in on the family, everybody was East Indian except one little white girl over there. But anyway, she brought an Edomite male full of tattoos, and then he was there for the gardening or something, like his father. No, the girl's father was busy with pruning, but he has it's an M&M commercial. Maybe I can find it. Let me see here. M&M commercial, pruning. Yeah, this one. Here. Wow. Okay, cool.
Everyone, meet my...
But, right. So you see the whole family is East Indian. Where they don't do this with Jake.
Everyone?
They don't do this with Jake, like an East Indian female is going to introduce her family to a Jake man, or vice versa. A Jake man is going to introduce... No. They do that. Wait. What's the other one? They don't do that with Jake.
Meet my boyfriend, Jake.
What's up, everyone?
See? And then you see one little white girl over here. But here, I don't see... Oh, here she is. I was looking for her.
Jake.
What's up, everyone?
Right. This is the only commercial that I know in the Netherlands of an East Indian being paired with an Edomite. And you see one of them here. You couldn't even see it in the beginning. And all that type of stuff. But the point is, you don't see them doing this with an Arab male. Like a male Arab guy, and then an East Indian is representing an Arab male to them. But you see this all the time with, for example... Why do people push interracial? No, I'm not looking for that. Here. America sees more interracial relationships in advertising. Not just America, Europe too. I see it often. The disappearance of black couples in advertising, because that's what they're doing. They're pushing it. And of course you have these Edomites that are against it and stuff like that. But our people have no idea that they're under attack. They have no idea. A sign of modern times. More multicultural families. They're not doing multicultural families. Where are they? This is a devil. I hate him, but he's talking about this same thing. I clicked on it, of course, but I've been talking about it longer than 8 months. But anyway, I've been talking about it for years. So, but anyway, so the point is that what they're doing is they're attacking us, but it's not interracial things. What it is it's Jacob and Esau. Those are the ones that they predominantly promote to be with each other. You don't see an Arab and then trying to graft themselves into an East Indian family, or vice versa, or a Chinese man married to an Arab, like an Arab or an East Indian, or any other race. A Canaanite. No. That's gonna be associated with us. Just any other thing, any other race that you can think of. You don't see them being coupled in the commercials together. So the interracial thing is not actually correct. It's more Jacob and Esau. Those are the ones that they're trying to break up by making them mingle. That's funny because making them come together is actually breaking them up. But anyway, so okay, that's this example here. No, they're pushing for the Edomite man. I can't type Edomite because my comment is going to be deleted. Because if you type the word Edomite, the comment is going to be... You can't type certain words because the software is going to recognize it and then delete your thing. So I have to type in Caucasian or Caucasus male. I can't type Edomite. I can type Esau, but that's not good in a sentence like often, you know. But anyway, so I'm going on. So it says here, Deuteronomy. Then I said Deuteronomy 30, chapter 30, verse 7 is coming to pass, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So now they are being programmed by their leaders to do the interracial things and stuff like that. They're being programmed. Just like how back in the days our people were being programmed by the leaders, you know, to push this so-called interracial thing. Like I said, you are what your father is. So don't worry about that. I'm not going against that. Never did. So, but I'm saying it. I'm saying about this. This is what I'm saying. What I'm reading what it says. For they have taken up their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers had been chief in this trespass. Because they were serving other gods. Because if you have a heathen woman and she's not making you go off of on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey man, cool cat, good for you. And we moving on with the video. So it says, they are now doing what we did back then, and this will cause them to fall even more because they are being divided against themselves by themselves, just like how the Israelite leaders were doing. But the difference is that the Israelites shall be saved in the end, no matter what nation the woman might be, because you are what your father is, his seed. You are what your father, his seed is, but that doesn't stop the inner fighting amongst us, and that is their aim. Because they want to do the divide and conquer, and they will. Because the child, most of the time, will not know which side the child should pick. That's also mentioned in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13. Because they don't know better, because they're not being taught. So for the Israelites that know the truth, they're going to teach their children if they have heathen wives and stuff like that. Of course, they're going to teach them. But the majority of our people, 100%, do not teach them at all. Nothing. They don't teach them shit. A lot of times, if you go to South America, you're going to see what the fuck I'm talking about. That racism there is thicker than you would get the racism here from Esau. It's fucking thicker there. I don't know if you understand that, but it's goddamn thick there. Yeah. Just Google it, YouTube it, you know. In Argentina, you know. They're trying to erase the Jacob descendants over there, the so-called dark-skinned ones. Let me see. Just fucking South America, man. Brazil. You know. They're doing it there too. So believe me, it's all over the world. But here, it's thick. It's thick. You know, especially in the Brazil media. And this is just a few countries. I just typed 2 countries. Didn't even mention the rest. All right. Anyway, so going on. So now the curses is coming upon them. That's the beauty. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. Now it's their time for inner fighting. That's good. Okay, so but the difference, okay, and you asked me how many women did Jacob plant his seed in 4, which 2 were his cousins, Leah and Rachel, through his grandfather Abraham, his brother Nahor, which is the father of Bethuel, and thus the father of and he, I should say. Well, the forefather actually, and that's the forefather of Bethuel and Laban, and the other two concubines, Bilhah and Zilpah. Their nations are not specifically mentioned, so I would assume Aram. I'm not sure, because they probably took them as servants, the people of Aram itself, and or it were people from their family. I don't know. So I don't know. You could assume, but I'm not saying. So we're also we're also named Aram, but are not from Aram. They are from Eber, and they are called and they are called Aram. But so let me read that again. So it says here. So I'm talking about these Leah and Rachel, that they are from Eber but called Aram, and you can find that here. So let me put this here. So it's here, Genesis chapter 11, verse 24. I'll start at 24. And Nahor lived 29 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begot sons and daughters. So they're not mentioned. The rest of Nahor are not mentioned. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. So he named his son after his father. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. Okay, cool cat. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. So here, Ur of the Chaldees is where Haran died, and also where Abraham was born, because it says that in the book of I think it was Judith 5 here. Judith chapter 5 verse the origins of the Israelites, verse 6. This people are descended of the Chaldeans, so they came from there. So which were the Chaldeans? Shemites. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, but anyway, going on. Yeah, because they come from them, so they must be Shemites, the Chaldees. But anyway, so going over here, and Mesopotamia, which is this here, which means land between the rivers, right? And you can find that here. You can check that out here, which is meaning, it's a Greek word, land between. It's talking. It actually means land between rivers here, the land between rivers. That's Mesopotamia, and it is a Greek word. The Greeks named it, and I often refer to this one again here, because it shows you that they're the ones that named all these things in order to deceive and in order to divide. The name Syria, Assyria, Mesopotamia, Babylon, etc. stem from the Greeks, and also the word Egyptians, because it actually is Mizraim. Right. Stems from the Greeks, who were not familiar with the true geography of these lands when the names first started to be used. Later, partially because of continued ignorance and partially because of convenience despite having accurate knowledge, so they kept on lying. For example, this is why they call us Black Hebrew Israelites. And I think that's the type of mentality that you have, the guy that has the question concerning that, you say the groups or something like that, that we push all the heathen nations, basically how they look, that they are Gentiles and stuff like that. That's not the truth. That's what Esau is actually pushing, and he obviously, or I think he got you too, because you are what your father is. You have Sicilians, Italians they look like Caucasian people, but they're not. Some of them are Israelites, and stuff like that. And some of them Irish. In all nations upon the planet Earth, you have Israelites. In the book of Ezekiel chapter 11, for example, you will have East Indians that are Israelites. Assyrians also, in the book of First Chronicles chapter 5. The Israelites were there among them also, having children with them also, and they stayed there. A lot of them stayed there. So a lot of them look like this right now. They look like this right now. And if you look closely, you will see that they resemble East Indians a little bit. A little bit. This one, he resembles an East Indian. And then this one, they resemble some form of Arabian type of thing. But when you look at them, you'd be like, oh, that's not an Arab. It looks like one, because I know how Arabs look to a certain degree. You know, but these, like I said, they look like Arabs, but they're not Arabs. Some of them look East Indian. Some of them look like they some kind of Turkish form or whatever, that type of region over there. You see, they don't look like Arabs. To me, they don't look like Arabs. You know, Arabs have a different type of face. This one looks Turkish, which is Esau from the other side that worship Islam. Yeah, so this. Yeah, when I see this, it looks like an Arab. But if I just look at them, it'd be like, yeah, they're not Arabs. But this one, it looks. This one doesn't even look Arab, but it doesn't look Edomite neither. But anyway, so these are them, those type of people. But Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So the Lord is going to go and get his people, which shall be left from Assyria, which I just showed you a few pictures. So some of the Israelites are going to look like that. And from Mizraim, so some of them Israelites are going to look like Hamites. And from Pantros, which is in that same region over there as Assyria and stuff like that. And from Cush, which are the Ethiopians. And from Elam, which are the East Indians. And from Shinar, which is the land with what they call Mesopotamia. That whole land over there. Well, this one actually. Because Mesopotamia is not real. They made it up. But you know, it's real, but it isn't. That's not the name of the land. You know, just like how Japanese people don't call themselves Japanese people because they call themselves Nihon. Nihonjin. That's what they call themselves. They call themselves, Japanese people call themselves Nihonjin. Nihon. They don't call themselves Japanese people. So Esau did that again. Despite having accurate knowledge, they persisted in using them since it would have required something of an effort to give up the old familiar names. So for them to give up a lie is an effort. They have to really work hard for it, right? Instead of telling the truth, you know. But going on, they've been lying for centuries now, and the divisions of the countries and switched to the new ones. So they wanted to have the countries divided because if you have a nation divided against each other, you can easily take them over. And this is exactly what's happening there. You have Assad. He has a smaller religious group. I think here the sectarianism and minorities in the civil war here. But anyway, let me see. You have different types of religions over there, and then what Esau did, he came in and he sided with the bigger group and gave them weapons, and now they're fighting against their government and stuff like that, right? So even so, as I said, and switch to the new ones, which is the actual old ones. Yeah, the original ones, the original names of these lands, even if they were accurate, not more accurate, just accurate. The old, true, and single name of these lands is Aram. So these lands are actually named Aram. That's what it actually is named. Just like how you have In the New Testament, it says Jews, but it's actually Benjamin and Judah. You have Levites sprinkled, you have Asher sprinkled among them. At that time, there over there, when Yahushua came there, but it's the Jews are being called Judah and Benjamin. That's the point. So, just like how all of them are called Aram, it's actually the region is called Aram, which is one of the sons of Shem. I'll leave that in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Right, from travel from Mesopotamia. So back over here. So you have Terah made Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Haran died in Haran. So Haran, his name, was actually also a place, what is called Haran, right? So now going to the book of in Nehemiah, but I'm going to go here. You can read this for yourself if you have the time. No, actually here. What our people were doing concerning, Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, and of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the languages of each people. And Ashdod is where the Hamites were, if I'm correct. It was the Philistines that was there. Let me see. I think it's Judges. Sorry. Joshua 13. This Joshua 11. Yeah, the Anakim. Only in Gaza, but it's going to tell you that. Let me see. Here, Joshua 13. Here. So the 5 lords of the Philistines, and where did they rule over? The Gazites were Philistines, the Ashdothites, whatever, that thing. That's this. Ashdothites. That's them. And so these are Philistines. So they spoke in the language of the Philistines. And the Philistines are Mizraim. They're the brothers of the Canaanites, of course. You can check that out in Genesis chapter 10. So they spoke in a Hamitic language, Philistine language. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair. So he beat them up, and made them swear by Yahweh, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. But anyway, so that's the point of the mingling thing and stuff like that, because they're going to serve the other gods. Genesis chapter 12. So I was just in Genesis chapter 11 concerning the bloodline of Abraham and Nahor, Terah, Abraham, and yeah, right? So now Genesis chapter 12. And by the way, here, let me see, 31. And Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son. I have a point, by the way. I have a point of talking all this. And Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees, to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran, and dwelt there. You have to understand, back in the days, the nations kept to themselves. So this whole region that you see here in the green were, well, until here, were Shemites. They was living here, but you had Cushites living here, because Cush came here, which isn't Hamite. He came here. Let me see if I have a picture of that. And it's in the scriptures, by the way. Genesis chapter 10 shows you that. Let me see something. Table of Nations. Right. So what did you have? The green is Shem. The orange, or actually, yeah, orange is Ham. The red is Japheth. This is how they disperse themselves, according to the scriptures. If you read the scriptures, you will see like, oh yeah, no, that's true. I did that, so I'm just glancing over it right now, because I did other videos showing you this. You can find everything in the scriptures, literally. You had the Midianites living here too. And the land of Uz, which is from Aram, which is where Job was. The land of Uz. That's in the book of, I already have it here, by the way, Job chapter 1. But anyway, let me go on. Now it says here. So now Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, because the man, you asked me who the, where is it again? How many women did Jacob plant his seed in? And tell me if you can, what? And tell me if you can, what color they are. Well, okay. So I'll get to that one. And we all know that Abraham is a dark-skinned man, right? Well, we do know that because that's the truth. Esau wants to make him, but yeah. And everybody wants him not to be a dark skin, just like how they don't want the Lord to be a dark skinned man. The Lord everybody calls Jesus. And also the Heavenly Father. Genesis 12:1. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred. Go away from your family members and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and will bless thee, and make thy name great. Thou shalt be blessed. Okay, let me jump to the point. So it says here, verse 5, And Abraham took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that he had gotten in Haran. Right? And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. So they went to Canaan. They went also to Shechem. And you have also a man named Shechem, which is the man that raped Dinah. So that land was named after him. This is Shechem, but they spelled it different. Just like how you have here. So Nahor is spelled here. Here is spelled Nahor, like this. But here it's spelled nachor, which is Terah, his son. Even Terah, the father of Abraham and the father of Nachor. But here it says here, Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor. So they're playing around. But yeah, so going back to over here. Okay, so he left him. His family was in Haran. He left his families in Haran. So Genesis chapter 22 verse. I'm gonna come to the Leah part because to show you what Leah and Rachel are. Now this is the, let me see, this Genesis here. Okay, Genesis 10. Okay, cool. So Genesis 22 and 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abram, saying, Behold, Milcah, she had also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, because we read that that's his brother. Nahor. Oh shit. Here. Abram and Nahor. These are the only two that were alive that came from Terah. And then Nahor, another one. Syrian, Peleg, Eber. So they all descendant from Eber. Sorry, here. They're all descended from Eber, which are all Shemites. Going back to over here. Okay, so his firstborn, whose firstborn? Nahor. So he's also from Eber, as it is mentioned here. Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Serug, Nahor, Terah. So they're all from Eber. And everybody that comes from Terah is from Eber. But they're not. But you have to understand that the Lord separated nations. Like how he separated Esau and Jacob, which were twins. Still separated them. He also separated Ishmael from Isaac. And then he created basically another direction bloodline from the same man, which is Abraham. Right, so let me go back over here. So it says, oh no, wait a minute. Here. Huz, his firstborn. Nahor, his firstborn was Huz. And Buz, his brother. And Kemuel, the father of Aram. This is not the Aram from here, Genesis chapter 10. No. This is not this Aram, because this Aram is the father of Uz and Hul and Gether and Mash. So it's not that one. So let me go back to over here. Okay, Huz and Buz. It looked like Uz, but it's not. Because you might get confused. But anyway, so those are the Aramites, and these ones are just Eber people living in Aram, right? And Chesed, and Hazor, and Pildash. Now, I looked up this word, but I'm not going to say too much about that. Pildash, Jitla, and Bethuel. So Bethuel is one of the sons of Nahor. And Bethuel begat Rebekkah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. So Bethuel is family of Isaac through his father Abraham by Nahor. So now Genesis 24, verse, let me see, 2. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of the house that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh. And if you read Genesis chapter 17, you see that Abraham everybody that was born in Abraham's house should be circumcised and stuff like that. So those were the souls that he begot in his place, because he had servants. Abraham had servants, and those servants were born in his house. So those are the souls that he had, because he himself didn't have no children, because it's explained right here. This is my covenant with you, and the servants that are born within your house, you need to circumcise them also. But the everlasting covenant is made with Abraham and his children that he did not have at this time yet. Later on he did. So going back to over here, Genesis 24:3, and I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the power of heaven and the power of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And where was that country? Here, Haran. Because it says also here, mentioned here, wait here, I think 12. Yeah. Genesis chapter 12, verse 5. And Abraham took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son. Haran, his son, is Lot. Haran is the brother of Abraham that died. And there's also a place named Haran. Just like how there's a place named Shechem, but there's also a man named Shechem. A place named Seir, but there's also a man named Seir, right? That place Seir was named after that Amorite man, if I'm correct. Or he was a Hivite, sorry. It says here, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. Those were the ones in Genesis chapter 17, the ones that are born in his house, are also his servants. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. But they was in Haran. That's the point. And who was in Haran? His brother Nahor stayed there in Haran. So he told his servant, go to my country, to my kindred, my family members, which were in Haran. So now Genesis 25, verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekkah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian. Is he a Syrian though? He's not a Syrian, because 1 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 24, Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Serug, Nahor, Terah. So clearly he came from Eber also, which is this is the father of Terah, but Terah also got Abraham and Nahor and Haran, which is here. Terah begat Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. So they are all from Eber, so including him. So he's not from. And the children of Aram, so it says here, the children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, which is Assyria, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, which is named nowadays Syria. And you can find that here. Here. Oh yeah, Gen 10. And verse, let me see, verse 22. Here, Aram. What will you see? Syria. Aram. But if you type in the word Syria, which I think I did here, yeah, here. What will you see? Hebrew 7:8. And here, the Haram is, or Aram, sorry, is Hebrew 7:5:8. What did I say here? I said see Hebrews 7:8. Sorry, Hebrews 7:5-8. So I clicked on this one, the word Syria, and you get the same word as you would get here, which is Hebrews 5:7 and Hebrews 5:6. It's the same thing. So Syria, right? But were they from the bloodline of Aram himself? No, they lived in that region. So going back to over here. So he said basically go to my land, my kindred. And where was that? Well, the whole land was called the land of Aram. But you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. It's all over the place here. Aram, the Arameans, which are called Syriac. The Greeks did that. Aram had Armenians, which the Greeks called Syriacs. It's all over the place. I just go to this one because it's doper. It has more text. But here you have all these scholars, these Edomite scholars, saying that. Here again, the blue. Everything that you see in the blue, it's them talking. These Edomites with their pictures, their faces. These are scholars that these Edomites highly uphold. But of course, they're not going to uphold these words. And then you have the people of Syria, Aram themselves, which is called Syria. They also have these codes from Hebrews and Arameans, because you had Deuteronomy chapter 23. You had something there, you know, concerning the Aram and stuff like that, you know. But which I'll do another thing about that. But anyway, and also from the Watchers, your praise, you be praised, and through you be your Father be also glorified. Whatever. Right. So going back to over here, where was that? Anyway, I'm sorry. Genesis 25, and okay, let me do this. Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekkah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. Like I said, were they from Genesis chapter 10 Syrian? No, but they was living in the land of there, so they called themselves after those lands. Because these are Abraham, his brother's children, because it shows you right here, like I showed you. Let me see, not Genesis 24, no, Genesis 22. And Bethuel, so Nahor begot Bethuel. All these 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kemuel is the father of Aram. This is another one. But this whole region, oh yeah, that's what I was going to show. This whole region is called Aram, right? And you can catch that here, which is, let me see something, Genesis 24, no. It's 25, that's not what I want. This is 25, right? So if you go to the book of Genesis 22, no, Numbers 22, and Numbers 23, and then Deuteronomy 23. So it shows you right here, Numbers 22 and 5. He, who's the he? The king of Moab, Balak. Balak sent messengers therefore unto Balaam, the son of Beor of Tupator, it's a place, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people. What river? The river Euphrates. To call him, saying, behold. And who called Balaam? Balak. Balak called Balaam. Balak is a Moabite. Balaam is a person, he's from the Shemites there over there. Going on. Of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. So now going to the book of Numbers chapter 23 verse 7. And he took up his parable. So Balaam took up his parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, had brought me, Balaam, from Aram. So now you can see that the things that they wrote here is 100% accurate according to the scriptures, right? So now let me go back to over here. Out of the mountains of the east, which is here, this one here. There's a lot of mountainous regions over here. saying, "Come, curse me, Jacob, and come defy Israel." So now the river Euphrates is where he comes from, right? And he says his land is called Aram. Okay. And then therefore, now going to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 and 4, because they, which is the Ammonites and Moabites, and also the Midianites, in Numbers chapter 25, you can read about that. The Midianites were also together with Moab, the Balak, the king of Moab, and also the Ammonites. But these were really forward in there, because they met you not with bread and with water. Also Numbers chapter 20, Numbers 25, and also Numbers chapter 30 or something. Okay, Deuteronomy 23 and 4, because they met you, yeah, they met you not with bread and with water by the way, when ye came forth out of Mizraim, Egypt. And because they hired against the Balaam, the son of Beor of Petor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. So Mesopotamia is the same thing as the whole region is named Aram. And Aram is therefore then also where he was, which is near the Euphrates River, which is all this here. This is all Haram, and it's called also the land of Shinar. And you can catch that here. Genesis 10, verse here. Babel, Erech, Akkad. These are all cities. Until this day, they call it the Akkadian Empire, but they spelled it different now. Akkad, 2 K's instead of 2 C's. And then here, then you have the Akkadian Empire. And where was that? That was here, in the midst of Shem. It was the Shemites that were there, but you have to understand, Cush went there. And what do you think that they would do? Do you think they would stay away from their women? No. So you had the Cushites living amongst them too, but that whole region was a Shemite region, and a Cush went there, a Cushite went there, Nimrod. Until this day, they worship Nimrod. All over the world with the Christmas things and stuff like that, so that's Nimrod. But yeah, so enough of this. So it's Aram, that whole region over there, right? So now, Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekkah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, which is the son of Nahor. Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, and sister to Laban the Syrian. The sister to Laban the Syrian. Right. So, First Chronicles explains you, already showed you that. Now you have here the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, which is in the land of Aram, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, one that feared the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and eschewed evil. And he was an Israelite, living in the midst of the Genesis 10 and here, living in the land of Aram. He was living there. Because we had a relation with those people. Also with the actual Aram people, we had relations with them because of that region. And we had relations, of course, with the other Eber. It's not really called a Hebrew, but you know, Eber is Hebrew. He's not really called that. Abraham was the one that was called Abraham the Hebrew. But Moabites are also from Eber because they came from Lot. And Lot is then the son of Haran. Moab and Ammon are children of Lot. So those children also come from Abraham, his brother. Haran, that died. Anyway, Ishmael is a Hebrew also. Esau is a Hebrew. So Hebrew, you could call Moabites Hebrew Moabites, and Hebrew Ammonites because they're Shemites. But anyway, and Elam too. Elam is a Shemite. He's not a Hebrew, but he's a Shemite. Right. So let me see. Yeah. So my point is this: I had to do all that reading to show you that if Abraham is a dark-skinned man, and then therefore his brother is also a dark-skinned man, and then his children also dark-skinned people, and then Bethuel, one of the children of Nahor, the last one, by the way, he is the father to Laban and Rebekkah. And Laban is then the father of Leah and Rachel. So what do you think that they are? They're people of color. That's the point of me reading all that. They're people of color. So that's the you asked me like what color, and can you tell me what color they were? Different shades of brown, because that's what the world was made of before Esau and before Cain. When the world got flooded, Cain, his descendants died, and then he came back through Esau, and then everybody that mingled with Esau became lighter, especially in the Roman Empire. Because if you check the history of the Roman Empire, which I did a video about, it shows you that the Romans, after they conquered a nation, they would rape the women and make children with them, and then take those children and put them in their armies and stuff like that, because it's their seed, and they knew that. And then they would make them rulers over those places there. They would make their children rule. I'm going to give you an example of a fact, and then I'm going to stop the video. If you go to the book of First Maccabees, you will see kind of that. This is where they get the Cleopatra from, and Cleopatra is a white woman. She is an Edomite, but they lived in the midst of Ham. So it shows you right here. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 16. Now the kingdom was established before Antiochus. He thought to reign over Mizraim. What? He thought to reign over Mizraim, that he might have dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Mizraim with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. So who was there? It was 2 Edomites fighting against each other because he wanted to rule instead of him. So he knocked him off his throne. But he was the ruler of Mizraim. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Mizraim, and he took the spoils thereof. You might ask yourself, why am I reading Mizraim when it says Egypt? Well, if you go here, and then you go to Genesis 10, right? And then I'm going to do this one again. Let me see here, Egypt. Okay, it says right there already. Egypt, right? It occurs 611 times in the Bible, and in 558 verses. Okay, so the word Egypt is Hebrew 4714. So if you type in the word Mizraim, which is here, Genesis 7 and 6, and the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan, you will see that here says Hebrew 4714. Hebrew 4714. Just like how here they did it to cause divisions, and they did it on purpose because it came from the Greeks, then you can understand what they did. Every time you hear the word Egyptian, what do you think of? You think of pyramids. You don't think of people. You don't think of a Hamite. You don't think, well, some people do. They think of African. They don't think of Ham. But they don't think of Mizraim. That's the point. They don't think of that. So if I keep on saying that, you're going to start associating it with pyramids. You're going to start associating Mizraim with the word Egypt, because that is what it is. See, words have power. They can do things. For example, I didn't know that the word nappy was a cuss word until I went over there in 2000. I went over in America in America in 2000. Then I said, like, yeah, we have nappy hair, and the guy flipped. He said, I ain't got no nappy hair. I looked at him and I was like, wow. I didn't know it was a cuss word. I didn't know that in America. But then, of course, I started to dig up in that word, and it is a used as cuss word. But I have another word for it: woolly hair. How about that? It doesn't hurt them. Woolly hair. You don't feel the racism there, but with the nappy you do. So words trigger something. So if I keep on telling you Mizraim when I see Egypt, and then later on I don't have to do it anymore, because you already will transfer it in your own head, like, oh, that's Mizraim, that's one of the sons of Ham. Those are dark skinned people, right? Hamites, Africans, right? So that's what they do. Matazarayam, which is Hebrew 4714. And the word Egypt, that's it. Here, Egypt. Mizraim, Matazarayam. And you have here the word Mizraim, which is Matazarayam. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. So that's why I read Mizraim to get it in your head. Just like how, but I tell you what I do. They don't tell you what they're doing. They want for you to read this and disassociate Hamites with that word. That's exactly specifically what they have been doing since the Greek times. Evil multiplied. It was given unto him to deceive the nations in the four corners of the earth. So everything is all upside down, but what will the Heavenly Father do? Eventually he will put everything right back up again, right side back up again, because that's what the Lord does, which is a beautiful thing. He might cause a controversy here to happen, and then here that's what the Lord does, man. If you read the scriptures, you're gonna see like, man, what the heck, the Lord did that? It looks like confusion, but it isn't. Especially if you focus on this one, you'll be, what the hell's going on around there? And then, boop, here. And then, oh, I didn't notice that. So that's what the Lord is doing. He's allowing these beasts to cause confusion in order for the other ones, the ones that praise Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, to find the truth and then pop it up right here. Boop. And then everybody's focused on this one over here. Right, so yeah, so that's it. So you asked me who they are. They are from Eber. They are from Nahor. So Leah and Rachel. And those two concubines, I don't exactly specifically know. So I can't get it out there. But if you say color, we know that everybody used to be brown skin. Different shades of brown back in the days, more than what you would have nowadays. Because if Abraham was dark, and therefore all his forefathers were dark. And the Hamites were dark too, and Ham was one of the sons of Noah. She can't have a light-skinned person making a dark-skinned child. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There has to be one dark up in there in order for the child to be dark itself. So yeah, that's that part. And then therefore, and yeah, there you have it. That's it. So I hope I did good, but I went into other things also in order to basically gear up toward this, I think. Because I asked myself if I could have just skipped all these things. But it doesn't matter. So I don't know if you have the patience, by the way. Because if you made it until here, then it's good. Because like you said, you stopped in the beginning of the video or something like that. And then started talking. So, hey. It doesn't matter. I hope this video is for the edification of somebody else. At least one. So that's good enough for me. So I'll put the video here. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Oh yeah, like the two concubines. Like I said it I see it for the third time right now. I don't know specifically what nation they are from. It's not really mentioned, but I would assume, yeah, that it were people from where is it here? This region. This region, sorry, because they was living in Haran. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's here. These Shemites were here. So oh yeah, that's what I also had here. You had Jacob. If you follow the red line, Jacob went to Haran in Padan Aram. Padan Aram. That's the place where they were. Padan Aram, as you can see here. Padan Aram here. Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekkah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, which is what it would then therefore say, Bethuel the Aramite, from Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. So, when it says here, Deuteronomy 26, right? Verse 5, and thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. Was he a Syrian though? he was named a Syrian, just like how Bethuel is named a Syrian. He's from that region. Because it says the name's Syria, which is Aram. I think I showed you that. I'm going to show you again. I already showed you that. You can look it up for yourself if you have the time. Ashur. This is Ashur. This is basically the land of Shinar, which is where Babylon is. And you can catch that here. Because Mesopotamia refers to the rivers. Shinar refers to the land mass. Where is it again? Genesis chapter 10, verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom, of whose kingdom? Of Nimrod, which was a Cushite. The mighty hunter. And the beginning of Nimrod, his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad. Until this day, they call it the Akkadian Empire. But in the history, you're not going to really learn about that. Esau and stuff like that. That's why through the internet, we learn. You know, then you learn about them. You learn about these people and stuff like that. And like I said, you had Shemites living there. But it was started by a Cushite and his people in the land of Shinar. That's the point. In the land of Shinar, out of that land went forth Ashur and builded Nineveh. So who did build Nineveh? Ashur. That's why Nineveh is an Assyrian empire, because he went away from them. Because Nimrod wanted to bring everybody together, but he went away and built Nineveh, which you can see here. So he went from here, and then he went to here, Ashur. He stayed there, and then he built Nineveh with the rest of the people over there, his people over there, and the people. You know, okay, Nineveh. Right. So going back to over here, the old, true, and single name of these lands is Syria. So when you go here, Genesis 26, sorry. Where did I put that? It's talking about Aram, and you can catch that here. Deuteronomy 26, verse 5, which says, my father a Syrian ready to perish. Now this is Hebrews 6:1. Aram Yah. It's the same thing. Syrian or Arameans exalted. So it says here, a thing or a person from Syria or Aram. Syria is Aram. And you can catch that here. Where was I again? Wait. Oh yeah, here. The history of the Armenian or Syriac nation, which occupied the east coast and extended into the interior of Asia as far as the Euphrates and Tigris, which are the rivers. The Euphrates and Tigris, which are the rivers. This here. The land between rivers. This is that land. And if you check this one here, you have two gardens. No, you don't have two gardens of Eden, but I number them two gardens of Eden. Why? You had the Garden of Eden before the flood, and you had the Garden of Eden after the flood. And by the way, you have two floods. You have the flood of Noah, and you have the flood that is called, garbage. You have the flood that is called the Euphrates River. They call that a flood too. Here, Joshua 24:2. And Joshua said unto all the people, thus saith Yahweh the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time. And who was that? Terah, even Terah, the father of Abraham and the father of Nahor. And they served other gods over there. That's why the Lord said in Genesis 12, get away from them, because they serve other gods. But when Abraham died, it said in the book of Genesis 15, it says, you will sleep with your father. So that shows you that his father didn't go to hell, because there's no hell. It doesn't exist, because it's that Abraham will meet his father after death. So that's another that's another way. Sorry. And he took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood. Now, if you think that is talking about the flood of Noah, Abraham did not exist. So how can he come from the flood? No. Mesopotamia is called in the Bible the flood. Esau changed that into the word Mesopotamia. So you think it's that. It's actually the other side of the flood. That's Mesopotamia in the Bible. Also the land of Shinar, because Babylon is there. So it has names and stuff like that. But if you read the scriptures, you'll figure it out, Lord willing. And yeah, so that flood, not that. So that's why I say there's two floods: the one of Noah and the one of Terah, and Abraham, of course, because it says right here, Abraham came from that flood, which is talking about here, and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed and gave him Isaac. It's so-called Mesopotamia, the land of the Chaldees, and Ur and stuff like Ur of the Chaldees. And then here, Genesis chapter 2 verse 10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into four heads. The name of the first is Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. Who was there also on the ancient prince of Tyre was here in that time. So it says here, Tyre and Tyrus. Tyre and Tyrus is the same thing. And the gold of that land was good. There was bdellium, and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same it is that the same is it that passeth through the whole land of Ethiopia. That's why we know that the land map is kind of messed up right now. But anyway, going on. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. So okay, we can find that one out. And here comes it. And the fourth river is Euphrates. So there went out a river out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into four heads. Eden, Euphrates. I wanted to say Ephraim because it looked like Ephraim. I read too fast. I know what I wanted to say, but I said because it looks like Ephraim. Sorry, but anyway, hey, Ephraim is fruitful. So yeah, that's it. But anyway, Eden, Euphrates, and that is then therefore called here. So let that sink in. That's why that's why this is known as the fertile crescent. Here, the fertile crescent. It's here where the river is. It says here Eden. It says it right there. So this region. But Eden means paradise, and this was paradise back in those days. Now it doesn't look like no paradise no more. I mean, look at it. Where the trees at? It's not that fertile. I don't see fruit. Because the earth has been depleted. It's old. It waxing old. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 shows you that. The earth waxing old now. About 12,000, between 12,000 and 14,000 years. Because in the time of Ezra, it was 10,000 years had passed. And if you look up the history in which time Ezra was, Ezra's lived in the 5th or 4th century BC. So what is the 5th or 4th century? Around that time. So if we type in century, What number? I wanted the number. 5th century is the 400s, and the 6th century is the what is the 6th century again? They confuse me. Oh. The 6th century is 500 through 600. No. Yeah. No, it says BC. Sorry. Yeah, 600 to 5. That's why it confuses me, because they're devils. The 6th century BC is like from 600 to 500, and the 500 BC is from 500 to, wait, let me see, 5th century. What is the number of the 5th century BC? It's 500 to 400. Believe me, I have looked it up so many times. I'm still confused. I still confuse myself with this thing. It's weird. It's just weird. And then when you count up, the 5th century is from what, 500 to 600, something like that. See, I still don't know. Let me see here. Let me see. To 600. Wouldn't this then therefore be the 5th century? It's bullshit. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand it actually, but it's still stupid, you know. So, what is the 6th century? 6th century is from January 1st, their month, whatever. 501. Why not 500? But anyway, whatever. 501. And yeah, maybe they don't want to start from 0. I don't know. And then 31 December, December again. 600 AD, right? So that's what they call the 6th century. I would call it the 5th, but that's me, and that's why I'm always confused in my head with what is it? I don't know. I need to look it up. Every time I talk about it, I need to look it up, or else I'm not gonna get it. It's confusing, because that's what they are. But anyway, I think I know how they counted, but it's still weird, right? So I know how the Edomites counted, but it's still weird. So when was he living? Sorry, what was that? Fertile Crescent. When did Ezra live? He lived around the 5th. See, I lost it again. Well, what is it? 5th century? I don't know, man. It's like what, 600 to, or 400 to 0. What was it again, man? BC. Yeah, 500 to 400. That's the 5th century BC, and around that time, or the 400th century BC, whatever, you know. But around this time, 10,000 years had passed. So if you count this to now, from 600 BC, whatever, man, 600 BC to 0 is 600 years. And from 0 to 2025 is, of course, 2025 years. So then therefore, it would be, let me see, how did I kind of, 2025 plus 600 or something like that. This. Yeah, so the Earth is around like 12,625 years, something like that, man. I don't know, 100% accuracy, but this is around where you will come around. So the Earth is about maybe something like that, 12,000 something, right? So yeah, so around that time. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.